Put some respect on Matt Johnson's name.
Put some respect on it.
And who is Matt Johnson, ye wonder? He is an auteur Canadian filmmaker with an entirely unique vision in the motion picture industry. This motherfucker fought his way into the industry, and he just keeps getting more recognition. His first two feature films tackled controversial subject matters. Number one being a school shooting, and number two being the faking of the US moon landing.
We know that they can make it up there. We're faking the last little piece, the tiny thing they can't do. Land and come back. The thing JFK said we'd do. That's the only part. Everything else is real. Do you understand?
I am a fan of conspiracy theories, I think because they are the most simplified and condensed version of big stories, which is why I'm attracted to them as a storyteller. It lets you communicate, I think, some really powerful ideas in a very pulpy, exciting way.
What mainstream writer-director would have the nutsack to tackle those two controversial subject matters? I'm willing to bet not many.
One of the reasons that we thought this movie was important is that it's getting at this issue of school violence and bullying in a way that the mainstream media just doesn't normally want to touch it. People view people who make terrible mistakes and do violence as monsters and evil. And as soon as that label is put on somebody, you can't really take a step forward in the rehabilitation of society or even of that individual because they're written out of the book of humanity.
His first film, the aforementioned fictional school shooting titled The Dirties, was produced on a $10,000 budget.
And when I was in the arcade, right by the school, Ryan Gahuli told me, "Hey, yo, Johnson, sweatpants are out." And I just walked away. I had left 2 quarters on the machine.
Really?
I'm serious. Oh, it killed me. It killed me. It was the first time I really got bullied, like just for being myself, you know what I mean?
And because of his and his team's efforts, they took home the Best Narrative Feature prize at the Slam Dance Film Festival. Fucking awesome. And then his second feature, Operation Avalanche, eclipsed the achievements of The Dirties and premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. He just keeps setting his personal bar higher.
Movie special effects can be very convincing, especially when you don't know you're watching a movie. The plan is to rent a film studio in Texas, hire a crew, and have them build our own lunar lander. We'll mix this practical set piece with Kubrick's projection technique, and presto, the illusion that man is walking on the moon.
And if it hasn't been clear thus far, I highly, highly recommend Matt Johnson's work. And that's not just his feature films, that's also his television show, Nirvana, the Band, the Show. Definitely recommend that as well, or at least the first season, because I can't find the other seasons online. Maybe it's because I'm in America and Canadians hate Americans, but I can't get it on iTunes, I can't get it on Amazon. I'm willing to cough over the dough. I mean, there's not even a Blu-ray I can get.
Bro, that's fucked up what they be doing to y'all.
I want to give you the moolah so I can watch the show. Let me watch the show. And so I say all of this to set the stage for a diabolical experience I had on the YouTube homepage. So I'm there on the home page and I see this thumbnail. No offense to Jay Baruchel, I find he is a tremendous actor, but looking at that thumbnail, on first glance, I could care less. Because nowadays, with Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Phoebo, Chippy Papu, Splashy Sploosher, Speepy Spoop Boop, Tim Ping Pong Ging, Blingy Bling Blong, and all the other streaming platforms. I mean, it feels like 1 million movies are getting released a year, and most of them, in my experience, don't have a high threshold for quality control. Thus, I assumed, based off my past experiences, this would also fall into that category. But thankfully, something inside of me was telling me, click that link. So I did.
Yeah, what can I do?
to my surprise, one of the first things I see when this trailer starts is one Matt Johnson. And I think, is this his third feature film and I didn't know it was coming out?
What do you call it?
It's called a BlackBerry.
Huh. Try typing with your thumbs.
I mean, it does look like his style, but the title of the YouTube video didn't say it was from Matt Johnson. So let's see if the trailer mentions it at all.
In the middle of a hostile takeover!
Jay Baruchel, all right.
$10 million stock fraud.
Glenn Howerton, yep.
You guys have no idea how to run a company.
Cary Elwes, Michael fucking Ironside. Let's go! I mean, there are some great actors here.
You said they were the best engineers in the world. I said they're the best engineers in Canada.
BlackBerry.
I shouldn't say.
Huh! It's that guy. I mean, this looks good. It looks good. It looks like his work. Oh! Wait, let's see. So did he... Screenplay by Matt Johnson and Matthew Miller. Directed by Matt Johnson. So this is his third feature. That's great. I can't wait to see it. I'm now excited to see it. I'm marking it on my calendar. But I got a bit of a problem with this marketing. With all due respect to Mr. Glenn Howerton and Mr. Jay Baruchel, who have created some movies and television shows that will stand the test of time. With that being said, for someone like me, I'm not inclined to just watch a movie that one of these actors is in just because they're in it. Bobby De Niro, Al Pacino, Leo DiCaprio, Bradley Pitzer, any of them, because that is more of a test for consistency, is the writer and director, not the actor and the projects they pick. So for fans of these actors, hell yes, it is important that they are mentioned in the trailer. I'm not suggesting that they should not be mentioned in the trailer. Of course they should be mentioned in the trailer. But it's also important to mention the person steering the creative vision of the film in the trailer, especially someone with a unique vision like Matt Johnson. Avatar is going to mention James Cameron in the trailer. Oppenheimer is going to mention Christopher Nolan in the trailer. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to mention the 9th film from Quentin Tarantino, because they are equally, if not more, the draw. You stamp from the mind of Matt Johnson, or from visionary Matt Johnson, or filmmaker Matt Johnson, auteur Matt Johnson, director Matt Johnson, whatever the fuck you want to fucking put there. But you put his name in the trailer. The guy's track record has been immaculate thus far. He is a rock star. He has earned his name being on the trailer, being on the promotional material. And I don't mean the little dinky-doo size -5 text. Now, the argument from Dumas's might be something like, well, most people don't know who Matt Johnson is. Hate to break it to you, most people don't know shit.
Can you name any country on this map?
Oh my gosh. Shouldn't I be taught this in school?
I would hope so.
No, I can't.
Did you go to high school?
Yes.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, that's a sad part.
Man, it's been a while since I've been in school.
That's okay. Any country on the map.
Africa.
That's a continent.
Country. Damn it.
If we do want to say, yeah, most people don't know who he is, you know how they can figure out who he is? You put his name in the trailer. Then, if people don't know who he is, the trailer's telling them this name is worth remembering. This name you should know. So, those people then, if they have a Google device, they'll figure out who he is, all right? They'll figure out his past work, and that can only help the success of this film, for people to see his past work become a fan of his, and then bing, want to watch this movie. There are people who watch the Cabin in the Woods trailer and don't know who M. Night Shyamalan is. Granted, a bunch of people do, but there's always going to be people who don't. And what happens when they don't? They just look him up. So that excuse is invalid to me. So too bad, all right? It's gonna say from director Matt Johnson, all right? And all of his films from here on out should say that in the trailer or in the title. So help a brother out, help a community out, the film community. Help them out and smack Matt Johnson's name on the trailer. It's an awareness that is much appreciated from film buffs to know that Matt Johnson is the one at the helm for this picture. And it's a little ironic that IFC, Independent Film Channel, IFC, Independent Films, this guy made his debut with guerrilla filmmaking in less than a $10,000 budget. This man, Matt Johnson, is amongst the ranks of Kevin Smith, Robert Rodriguez, Richard Linklater, Quentin Tarantino, John Singleton, M. Night Shyamalan, Christopher Nolan. They did whatever it took, running up credit card debt, donating fucking blood. They did whatever to raise money to make their first feature film because there was a immutable drive inside of them. And Matt Johnson is a shining champion of independent film, yet you don't even want to mention him.
Now that's fucked up.
Doesn't add up. It's of grave importance to recognize the motion picture landscape that we find ourselves in today, which is an oversaturation. It is a tornado of shit. It is just a constant spinning whirlwind where you can get suffocated if you try and look up on a streaming service all the different original movies they have. It's just, there's so many. How do I catch my breath? How do I? Well, there's a breath of fresh air, and his name is Matt Johnson. His film efforts need to be highlighted so that people can become a fan of his, so that they can commit his name to memory, so that they know that Matt Johnson's name means this style of film, and they will go out of their way to find it. Just as in the case of any great filmmaker you can think of. So, IFC, how about we do the right thing here? All right? You know what to do.
She.